Yep, it did. Okay. All right. So let me roll with it. Sherman Lewis from only a Squeaky Clean Commercial Cleaning Company, also Clean Success Academy and Clean Success VA Staffing Solutions. And I am the person you want to talk to when it comes to helping you start your or create your systems and you're automating your business. Unmute.
Right. All right. Well, that's what's up. That's what's up. Appreciate you. I would have hit my button, but I'm doing too much. I would have hit my little
Yeah.
clap button. All right. What we got? What's good, Tone? Let them know.
How y'all doing, man? I'm Tony Williams, former owner of Impact Cleaning Professionals, CBN vet, now consultant, and man, I'm just here to vibe with my people, man. Happy Friday! It's been a little minute for me.
Yes, sir. Happy Friday. Welcome back.
What's up?
See money in the building. I ain't seen her in a little minute.
I know. I heard you just introduce yourself. I'm like the Tony Williams. I also do hear a little bit of a echo. I think it might be AJ's mic.
But
Sorry about that. But hi, everybody, and welcome to today's live stream. My name is Carolyn Arellano, the proud owner of Spotless Cleaning Services and Cleaning Business Mentor, also a longtime member of the Clean Biz Network, and also one of the coaches on the 1010 program. Very excited to be here. Really glad to see everybody. Tony, it's been a minute. I'm really happy to see you. And yeah.
that's what's up. What's up? Welcome in, Carolyn, as well. And then we got my guy down there, Mr. Brandon. Go ahead and let them know who you are.
What's good, everybody? Happy Friday, man! It feels so good to see T-Dub back in the scene, man. Tone Bone, what's up, man? We got Carolyn on this thing. See money, and it's like old times, man. I feel good about that. Man, my name is Brandon Orr, cleaning business owner, multi-state, um, specializing in sales, and now CBN consultant, helping wherever I can. 1010 program, whatever play Coach AJ calls, we're here to run it and make sure everybody is successful running that business. So just glad to be here and glad to be a resource.
For sure, for sure. Appreciate everybody for pulling up today, man. It's gonna be a good one today, y'all. We got some topics, and also, as always, y'all. Oh, I forgot to hit go live on Instagram. I hit that now, but make sure y'all drop y'all questions in the chat. We are here for the people. Y'all already know that. Obviously, we can help you better if you decide to join us in the 1010 program, and also we look forward to seeing y'all in October at the CBN conference. But we want to get into these topics, y'all. So I'm gonna start us off with a topic today. And right on time, our moderator is here to go ahead and drive it while I go close my door and try to fix my background. Is the echo still there?
I don't hear it.
Okay, cool. But I turned my noise cancellation on, so maybe that helped. Okay, but and then we got our moderator up. If you want to go ahead and unmute yourself and let the people know, did she freeze? I think she froze.
I think she did.
Okay,
She's
but
still
everybody freezing. Look, Brandon like he froze too. And then Carolyn dropped off. But anyway, all right, there we go. Angelica is back. If you want to hit unmute.
Can you guys hear me okay? I thought I was having connection issues.
Yeah, it was for a second, but
Okay.
you're good now.
All right. If I need to move, I can. I'm in the car.
Cool.
Hey,
Let the people know who
everybody.
you are.
I'm Angelica. I am your CBN moderator for the day. I'm glad everybody's here. Please leave comments, questions down in the chat so we can get to them.
But let's get to it. Let's get to it. So, Sherm, you got access. I ain't going
Yeah,
to
okay.
like a second, but you
Yeah,
get the control since Angelica's out of the office. But
I got you.
I'm gonna start it off with this question. If y'all want to, Angelica, you want to drive from here, but I just want to talk about selling. So, kind of like go back and forth trade tips, and let's do selling real quick, and then we're gonna jump to this question. Shout out to Juan checking in. Shout out to all around everything checking in as well. Says what's up, y'all? Happy Friday. I guess I throw you on the screen real quick. Get these shout outs real quick. Shout out to Lee C checking in from Virginia. Shout out to Virginia, my home state. And then we also got Juan got a question, and we're gonna get that question in a second. But go ahead and give people some tips on closing these deals and selling. Whoever want to jump in first, and I'll be right back.
I'll start off only because I just recently picked up an account that's with a property manager with a large apartment complex, and I'll start it off by saying we had a previous relationship prior because she was the property manager for another location, right? And then she moved to this new location, and I still have the other location as well. She had called me and said, "Hey, we're looking to probably change out our cleaning company because they're just not meeting the standards and stuff like that." And she wanted to reach out to me. So with that being said, she reached out. We did a walkthrough, and she went over, okay, these are the things that we need. So in essence, we got the apartment move out turnover cleans in addition to the common area. What I will say is that a lot of times when it comes to, getting those accounts, understand that their goal, and as with a lot of other people, is to get the lowest price for with the most results, the most things that they can get into it. They want you to do, baseboard ceiling fans, they want you to do the window sills, all that other stuff. So when you go in there, just understand how you want to price. Are you going to price by square footage? Are you going to price by, the time that it takes? That's completely up to you. You just have to make sure your bottom line number satisfies all of the requirements that you have in reference to your expenses, your labor, and all that other stuff. I'm not going to say either one is wrong or either one is more right than the other. The main understanding is what is the bottom line, and are you going to get the profit that you need and the income that you need in order to pay for labor, because you don't want to be the one doing it. And I don't want to overtalk this. Pay for labor, but also pay for your other expenses, and I'll leave it there.
I love it. I love what you got, Tone. If you want to tap in on that sales advice, what we got?
You say sales advice, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. The biggest thing is water on the rock, man. What works? What works for you? What works for your system? And like one of my old managers used to say, like sometimes you got to be like water on the rock. Like if you ever see a rock that's like right up under like a drip or something like that, you'll notice that over time that rock starts to get a hole in the middle of it if that water is consistently dripping in the same spot. But the amount of drips that it takes for that hole to start forming in that rock is like, we probably couldn't even really, count it unless we put a camera there to watch it happen. So, but I say that to say, man, some of these people, you might not get in touch with them the first time, or they might have a conversation with you and then ghost you or whatever. But for the ones you really want, you got to be like water on the rock. You just got to keep tapping on them. It might be in the beginning every week you calling them back. Then it might go out to every 3 months. Then it might go every 6 months. But either way, you still continuing to follow up with that same person. So especially for those accounts that you really want, that really fit your ideal client profile, like, man, you got to be like water on the rock. Just keep tapping on them, keep reaching out to them, because nobody's perfect. So that company forgetting to take the trash that day, or they went to throw some over the dumpster and the bag ripped and they left trash all in front of the dumpster. Like that kind of stuff pisses people off. Like, and sales is emotional. So you catch them in that moment while they, having a bad day. That might be your opportunity to get in. You don't want to praise nobody's downfall, but it's business. Where somebody's falling short is where you can come in and provide value. So keep tapping on them. Don't stop.
So wait, it sounds like you're trying to tell me ain't no magic pill. People got to be persistent and actually keep following up and keep trying to track these deals that they want to close. That's what it sounds like you're hinting at.
100%.
I'm trolling. I just want to make sure because I don't know why they think they're gonna get with us, and then we're gonna be able to tell them, oh, see, all you got to do is press this little button over here, and then you're just gonna get contracts left and right. Listen, this is commercial cleaning. Anything commercial, anything. You doing business to business, it's gonna be a longer sales cycle. You know what I mean? When you doing B2C, business to consumer, it's a little quicker because it's more impulsive of a buy. It's less decision makers involved a lot of times. You're talking about smaller money being spent a lot of times. So it's like y'all gotta understand this is a process. You don't think you just gonna close deals in one instant. You know what I mean? So before I switch topic, Carolyn, you ready? You want to chime in a little bit on that selling topic?
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to sales, something that I'm always talking about, is that it's definitely something we need to get comfortable with doing. I think a lot of us don't expect to be like the salesperson in our business, and that's totally fine if you're not completely comfortable with that, but in that case, you do have to have somebody taking that job on, right? So, either we have two options. One, we're either going to spend money on hiring and training somebody to do the sales for us, all that outbound cold calling, emailing, even in person, or you're going to have to give up some of your time, right? So if you're in the boat where you don't have a lot of funds to start marketing your cleaning business, then you have to get into the habit of learning how to sell your business, your value proposition, and get comfortable with making those calls, going door to door, figuring out and learning different platforms, like we have in CBM, right? To send out those emails, text messages, and stuff like that. So not a lot of us, a lot of us come into this business thinking that people are just going to be calling us and responding to our ads. And, it's not like when you open up a cleaning business, the entire town gets a text message or an email saying, hey, Spotless Cleaning Service just opened. They're the best cleaners in town. They want to take care of your dental or doctor's office. It doesn't work like that. And don't get me wrong, inbound leads are great, but that's not going to get you to where you need to go. Like that's just it, at least if you have a big goal in mind, right? Even if you spend thousands of dollars on ads and you have these inbound calls coming, you still need to learn how to sell your business. So I would say that, as a cleaning business owner myself, I was also not used to selling over the phone, whether it was house cleaning or commercial cleaning. It wasn't something that I was comfortable doing because it was something that was brand new to me. And I had to learn how to get better at that. So either you're going to give up, your time or your money, but just know that inbound leads, it's not going to be everything, or it's not going to get you to your goals as quickly as you'd like to. So either get comfortable with learning to be the best salesperson in your business, or hire somebody to do it. But don't just sit on your hands and think that because you have a Google My Business profile, a website, and some good flyers that everybody in town is going to want to work with you. And again, we might not be the best salesperson in the beginning, but if you do something enough times, like you will get better at it. I used to hate doing the cold calling. I used to hate even answering the phone for my residential customers because I had so much emotion tied to the conversations. I'd get upset if they wanted a discount, or I would feel like I have to do things outside of the ordinary scope of work. But you have to train yourself to, get better. Like I said, figure out your value proposition, stick to, your pricing, stick to your script. And, after the first 100 phone calls, you will get more comfortable. And of course, with the cold calling, nobody likes to hear no. Nobody likes to not get in touch with somebody. But the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And it's definitely just something that we have to learn how to do, or like I said, hire somebody to do the work for us. But don't expect to make, multiple six figures in your first year if you're not out there doing the cold calling, meeting people in person, and learning all these different ways and platforms that we've made available for you, in the CBN program.
No, I thought that's perfect. That is perfect right there. Like, and don't forget, because a lot of y'all don't want to make these cold calls. Is that thing still playing? We good? Okay. Because I told y'all when I hit that button, I can't hear it, but apparently y'all can hear it. But anyway,
No, it's
so
good.
okay, but so, but a lot of y'all don't want to make the cold calls, right? But as Carolyn was just saying, like, if you want to grow exponentially, you're gonna have to put in extra work. You know what I mean? When we keep sitting around thinking somebody's just gonna call you, you got to put that work in. And then don't forget, when you join the 1010 program, you automatically get the in-house lead generation course that comes with it. I don't sell that anymore publicly, but you automatically get it when you in the 1010 program. You know what I mean? We're trying to condense things and just make everything better for y'all, and that's what we do. So make sure you go to 1010program.com. All of these people here are coaches in that program. Choose this coach you want to work with, all that good stuff. But go there and sign up, y'all, because guess what? You can hire other people, like Carolyn just said, to call for you. And if you don't know how to do that, that course, the in-house lead generation course that comes with the 1010 program, will show you how to hire them, where to find them, how much to pay them, the script, all that good stuff. So that's what we got for y'all. All right, now I see my guy is back. Before we move on from the sales topic, we got to hear from the man himself who specializes in this area, Mr. Brandon Orr. What you got for us? Is he all right? Here, there we go. What you got for us on that sales topic?
Yes, sir. I missed the question. My bad. I was having some technical difficulties, but I'm back. But what was the question?
Yep, just basically just share any tips you got as far as sales. And you kind of actually inspired this topic because, the conversation we were having in the group chat in the 1010 program. I seen you out there, you picking up the phones. You ain't too bougie to pick up the phones. A lot of people too good, but you ain't too good to pick up the phones. And then also shout out to Tommy Spite. He was in there sharing free game this morning and it motivated me. You know what? Let's talk about some sales. So just what you got on this topic real quick to help people close more deals.
Yeah, 100%, man. Sales is the basis to any business. And I think a lot of people shy away from sales because they're afraid of rejection. And I mean, that's the business we're in. We hear a lot of rejection, we hear a lot of no's, but that's what separates the winners from the losers is the fact that we can take a no, take rejection, and keep going. So, man, if you don't have sales, you don't have any business. That's just the bloodline of your company in sales. So really, and it's your company. So you are the number one salesperson for your company. So that should be like at least 75% of your time in sales, right? Because you could teach somebody how to clean, you could teach somebody how to do operations, but sales is something only really you could teach somebody how to do that too. But you are the number one person until you're able to find somebody who can sell your company like you can. And man, that's what separates us, man. A lot of people pay for contracts. A lot of people do like 100% of their business is just subcontracting for another company. All you got to do is know how to go get that contract for yourself, and gotta have an extra 30%, 70%, however much back into your business. So that's all I got, man. It's just handling, being able to handle rejection. Just keep going.
Well, don't forget to tell them I was going to mention this also. If you guys need some kind of accountability, Brandon's got an amazing journal for you guys to make sure that you hit your goals. So be sure to check that out. If you want to drop a links, anyone, I can also try to find one and share it here. But yeah, that's something that we need to do also is keep ourselves accountable, right? And stick to the goals. So definitely check out Brandon's sales journal, which I absolutely love.
Thank you for the plug. Absolutely. And I got to send that to Ty Larry. Ty Larry has just requested that planning too. So I haven't forgotten about him. Definitely a good person in the 1010 program. So
For sure. Love those gems, bro. And by the way, if you are connected to Bluetooth, I think that's what it is. It's getting a little bit of static when you talk, so I'm thinking it might be the Bluetooth. So if you could disconnect from that, if that's what it is. All right, cool. We're gonna jump into these questions because we got a packed house today. Apparently, this is a good time, or they're excited because we got some help today. I don't know what it is, but appreciate everybody for tapping in. So let's go ahead and jump in the first question. We might not even get to these other topics. Y'all in here today. Shout out to Juan, as I said earlier. He said, "How would you go about pricing property management cleanings?" If somebody want to jump on that. And by the way, Juan, you didn't really specify this, so we gotta assume here. But based on what he provided, which I want to say on how to price property management cleanings.
I'd love to jump in real quick. First thing I would say is definitely you need to go meet with the property management company and walk through each unit that they have. It could be a studio, 1 bed, 1 bath, 2 bed, 2 bath, or if they're homes, try to visit at least one of the homes that you'll be cleaning for them. I would absolutely go through a checklist of items that they need with property management companies and the few that we work with. Some of the things that I've noticed with them is that there's a lot of scope creep, meaning that they will say, okay, yeah, great. We need a move out clean for 1 bed, 1 bath, whatever you agree on, $175 a unit. And then they start to add on all these different tasks, right? That aren't in the original scope of work. So when you're going through these walkthroughs with them, make sure you're asking every single question you could possibly think of. Do you want the top of the cabinets? Do you want the inside of the cabinets? Do you want behind the the refrigerator clean? Do you want behind the oven clean? Do you need the inside of the washer and dryer clean? Do you want the walls spot cleaned? You know, do you expect us to take the lights off and clean the bugs that are in the lights? Like all of these different things, you need to ask. That way, when you're doing your pricing, you can work it into the amount of time that you're estimating per unit or per home. Like I mentioned, we've gone back and forth with a lot of these property management companies because they always try to tack on additional work that we did not originally agree to. So when you're doing that proposal, you know, you want to make sure you have your checklist very clear. You want to make sure that somewhere in that proposal, you're telling them that if the scope of work changes, you have to revisit the pricing. But more importantly, like the walkthrough is the most important thing. If you ask all the right questions, you can build out your pricing right from the door. And yeah, so like I mentioned, you know, they start to add things like, oh, well, can your team take the lights apart and clean the bugs out? Well, sure we can, but it's going to be an additional, you know, $20 a light or something like that because we didn't agree to that. Every little task that you do, it equates to amount of time, right? And you have to pay your contractors or your employees, so you don't want to end up losing out on your profit margins because you're now adding extra work and doing it for free, right? We're not there to work for free. So the walkthrough is really important. You want to make sure you can ask all the right questions. Every little spot in the home you want to point out and ask if they want to include that. You know, be careful to, for example, one of the apartment buildings we work with, they just ripped out the carpets out of all the bedrooms and now they put hard flooring in. Well, now that's more time for my team because we're not just vacuuming. Now we have to vacuum and mop. So in, you know, in that contract, we state that if any changes are done to the apartments, also people love to add in new shelving and stuff like that. You know, you have to be able to revisit that pricing. So definitely be very detailed in the walkthrough, ask all the questions, you know, point out every section of the home, the walls, inside fridge, inside oven, behind everything. You know, inside the dishwasher, do they want you to clean that? Do they want you to clean inside washer and dryer and all those kinds of things? And then also be sure that in your contract, you know, you're working out all of the what ifs, right? Like what happens if your team shows up and you're locked out of the apartment? You should have like a lockout fee, whatever that is. Make sure that if the water and electricity is not running when you show up, there has to be some kind of fee for that. So definitely, you know, be very detailed through the walkthrough, ask all of these questions. And when you do your proposal, make sure that you have all of these terms in there. If anything changes, the flooring changes, anything in the apartment changes or is added or modified, or if the checklist needs to be modified, pricing needs to be revisited. Because we don't want to get bullied into doing work that is not agreed upon. And that was something I'm always going back and forth with these property management companies because one thing about them, I love them because it's recurring work, but they are sometimes trying to offload some of their maintenance work to us as cleaning companies. And that's fine. We'll do it, but it has to be at a cost, right? And also too, a lot of times that we're cleaning these move in, move out apartments, it's a little bit of post-construction cleaning because they're redoing cabinets or redoing the floor. So just make sure you ask all the right questions. You know, and if you'd like, I can give you like a checklist or something like that. I'll drop my email here. But yeah, you just want to make sure that you're asking all the right questions and just be careful with the scope creep and in that contract, make sure you're very clear about all of the additionals or if the changes come up, because you will run into issues, like I said, no water, no electricity, being locked out, them giving you the wrong code. And you want to make sure that we're always compensated for the time that we're cleaning. Otherwise, your profit margin will drop. And there's been times where we've cleaned apartments and we've like broke even or not made any money because in the beginning I didn't have these issues because they never happened to me before, and we were pretty much cleaning for free at a certain point. So just be very careful with them. They're great recurring contracts. I think they're awesome, but you have to be very clear on what you're going to do, what you're not going to do, what's extra, and just make sure you're being compensated for all of your time.
That was so good,
And I
Carolyn.
land there.
I love all that you just put in there, because seriously, them property management companies, there's so many moving parts to it. Did anybody else want to tap in on that question?
No, I already spoke on it. So anybody else?
Is my connection good, you guys?
Yep, you good.
One thing that I would say that I learned from working with property managers is not all the time, but sometimes you do have to adjust your margins just a little bit when you're working with a property management company, because they are charging their clients or tenants or whatever per square foot. So, normally, hey, if I would normally get a 30 to 40% margin out of something, like if this relationship is worth it and they're giving me enough volume, for a property manager, I might be willing to go down to 20%. Like, hey, if they're giving me a whole bunch of work, I might even be willing to go down lower than that, because they're going to be looking for the best price. Unless they are property managers for like luxury style, facilities or homes or something like that. Most of the time, they're going to be looking for the best price, like who can do the most for the least. And that doesn't mean put yourself in a position where you're not making any money, but also just as far as mind frame for those people that do see, hey, working with a property manager or a realtor or something like that is the direction that I'm going to go, and I like getting leads, I like building those relationships. That's just something that you might just have to be willing to like compromise on just a little bit. Like, that don't mean give your work away, but just realistically, you got to be willing to give a little wiggle room when it comes to that, especially if they're giving you a bunch of work.
Thank you, Tony. That was good stuff. I'm going to jump to the next question. Okay, at Pristine Commercial Clean. I'm at 30K a month, but business has been slow with no major contracts. I've been in the same city for 7 years. When is it time to expand 45 minutes away? Who wants to tap in on that one?
I'm trying to be patient with y'all, but at the same time, I hate dead space. So, like, because I understand, like, we got to keep the people, you know what I mean? We got to keep the energy up. So I'll jump in. You know what I mean? But
Hey, I just don't
I would
want
say,
to be the one to talk and jump in on everything.
right. So I'm gonna tell y'all now, this ain't Clubhouse. Feel free to interrupt, over talk. We gonna be all right. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I want to
I'm
keep
the
the
same
energy
way.
high and keep the people engaged. So, all right, bam. So as far as this goes, I would challenge this a little bit. I would say, all right, at 30K, that's pretty good, by the way. Congratulations.
It's really good.
How many contracts do you have to make up that 30K? Because that could be, 10 contracts. That could be shit. That could be 50 contracts. Who knows? You know what I mean? But it depends on the makeup of your business, right? But what I would want to know is, let's just say, even at the most, if it's 50 different contracts, how many businesses are in the area that you serve right now? Because if you're in a rural area, you might have tapped out and it might be time to expand. But if you're in a bigger city, 50 businesses ain't even close to, what I mean, the max that you can really tap into in that area. So I'm always a big proponent of max out what you already got first, really like make sure you really max it and then start to expand. However, if you get an opportunity, 45 minutes away, an hour away, and you got the ability to cover that, go get it. You know what I mean? Find some subs that's out there in that area already. I wouldn't be trying to take my crew all the way 45 minutes, an hour away out. I would try to find people already in those areas, have them clean it, and put plan A, B, C, and all of those systems in place to cover it in case the person can't, cover it themselves. But yeah, like I I'm always a big proponent of dominate what you already got going on first. And at 30K, I'm not confident that you already have. You might have got a little complacent, which that 30K number, we talked about this several times in the past. That 30 to 50K range is, everybody gets stuck there. I don't know what it is. I did a video about this a while ago, but everybody gets stuck there. It's a comfortable number to be stuck at. You know what I mean? But I will look at, okay, what have we done intentionally to grow? What has been your number one source for lead generation? What has been, you know what I mean? And then figure, okay, bam, maybe we tapped out that lead generation mechanism. Maybe it's time to run some ads. Maybe it's time to hire a cold caller. Maybe it's time to buy leads from CBN if you in Clean Biz Network, because only members can buy them. Maybe it's time to, but it might be time to do something different. You know what I mean? Maybe it's time to join the Chamber of Commerce and you start meeting, rubbing elbows, whatever the case may be. But just throwing some ideas about it. I don't want to be too winded. We got a lot of people up here with valuable advice, but that would be my feedback on it. Just make sure you actually maximize what you already got first.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say thank you, AJ. Anybody else want to tap in?
No, I'm good.
I definitely like to tap in on that one. 45 minutes away, man. That's I feel like in our industry, or maybe it's just my area, that's still, within serviceability. So I'll go up to 2 hours away, if it makes sense. If I can find workers in that area, if it's an account that I can fully staff, most of the time I'll look to get a site supervisor or account manager or something like that. And then it's just communication at that point, making sure I'm staying open for communication. And like Sherman Lewis talks about all the time is your system. Like, there are companies that operate all over the globe, like essentially, because of the system that they've created. So if you had to drive, maybe 2 hours away, but it was an opportunity that made sense, like I wouldn't even consider it like as far as me driving 2 hours away every time that accounts need to be cleaned. I might have to drive that 2 hours maybe once, twice a month, once it really gets rolling, maybe once a quarter, so I can go and get my face-to-face with the client, do my own personal inspection, like whatever it may be. But I would definitely start opening up that range, but just don't do it for the sake of doing it. Do it strategically. All right. Hey, I might be willing to go 2 hours this way, because I know I can get work in that area and I know I can find people to work in that area. But I'm not going to go 2 hours that way because it's super rural and there's no people working down there. It's a couple of little shops, there's barely any houses. So I'm not going that way because you're going to be servicing that account like yourself, or you're going to, you're going to have a lot more struggles. But I would say expand, man. Like, continue to dominate your backyard. But at 30K, prayerfully your system and your foundation is strong enough that you can start like taking on heavier work. And a lot of times, and this is just my experience, like bigger accounts are easier to manage. Like, like if I have more people there and I can put an account manager there, a couple of supervisors there and stuff like that, man, that's gravy versus 2 to 3 night a week where people only working 3-4 hours a night and they calling out because that's just 3 or 4 hours. These other accounts, this somebody full-time job. They pay, they bills off of this, they feed their kids off of this. So, you're going to be more likely to get people that are going to take it a lot more seriously. And then you just have a good system that manages well.
Thank you, Tony. I'm going to keep moving as we do got a lot of questions in here. I want to try to get to some of them. Hey, Allometric. She said, so true, Tony. I gave a quote for a shopping plaza and he was kind. That was probably from something earlier. She's got a follow-up. She says, nervous on the price, but I kept following up and now we're moving because I was constantly educating on why he needs a cleaning service. So that goes along with the sales topic from earlier. Steve Jones says, Jones Coast System Janitorial checking in from Indianapolis.
What's going on?
Well, come on now. There it goes. Thank you. Cheryl Bruce definitely had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable with sales.
For sure.
Uh-oh. I'm going to tear that one up, y'all.
Latino Otaku.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, AJ. Hello, professionals. For contracts, do you get paid up front or do you do 30, 60 net terms? And if you have a residential side, is it the same or is it different? Who wants to tap in on this one?
I will. Do you get paid up front, 30 or 60? I'll say I've done all of those. So it just really depends on the account and how you negotiate it, right? It's you have to negotiate between their terms because they have depending on the size of the facility, they may have an accounting team that handles their accounts and payments and all that other stuff, and you may have to get in line with that. But even with that, you can negotiate those terms because I had an account that tried to get me to do 90 days, right? And I was like, no, I absolutely cannot do 90 days. It was at the time, it was my largest account. Now it's not even close. Well, I got rid of them actually, but that's neither here nor there. But they tried to get me to do 90 days. And then I was like, no, I can't do it. It's like, well, can you do 60? I was like, no. But then we kind of negotiated. I said, okay, well, if we do 60, then I'm going to bill you at the beginning of the month and not at the end of the month. So in essence, it turns out to end up being 30 days, if you depending on how you look at it. So you can negotiate those terms. It just really depends on you. With residential, I'm not experienced in residential that much. So I'll let anybody in the residential space kind of speak on that. But the terms are definitely in your ballpark, but depending on the size, you may have to have some type of negotiations. Hopefully that answers your question.
I can tap in on the residential since Carolyn's not in anymore. I would never take a net anything on residential. We do upfront payments. So if it's a new client and we've never booked with you before, we want to do a card capture. So we do a 25% down payment, non-refundable, and we make sure to include those payment terms so they understand that. So it's just a hold that we put on their card. And so then that gets applied to the final payment. After they're our regular client, we just bill them upfront each time. If they add on any services, because just yesterday we had a client, hey, can you clean the upstairs today? Well, you have to charge for that. So we give them a quote for it and we billed for that later. But on the commercial side of things, I would say really pay attention to what you need for your cash flow, because once you start creeping into that net 60, for me, that's too much. That's too tight for me. So pay attention to what you need for your cash flow and always keep that in mind. I know I've had to turn some contracts down just because, a net 90, I can't do a net 90. That's too much for me with where I'm at today. Anybody else want to tap in on that?
Now that's all facts from both of y'all. I appreciate that, and I'll tap in a little bit. Every time this topic comes up, I think about DJ the Boss. I'll salute him. He basically retired, you know what I mean? But he pop in here or there. But man, no net 30s was the campaign, like for real. Like, and I remember he told a story about how he just was straight up with the people, like, listen, we are a growing company. I have people to pay, and we just simply cannot afford to wait that long to pay our people. Now, if you pay us up front, I guarantee you we can fix all your words, we can get the job done, but we got to get paid in order for me to pay my team. And they would, they would work with that. And then I think about Ricky Regalado up there in Chicago, multi-million-dollar company owner as well. He talked about how they moved all of their people to bi-weekly payments. So again, it just goes back to what Sherman was saying about is you negotiate it. In every standard template for the proposals that we have in CBN, on that last page, you got your terms of service agreement. I automatically have it on there. I'm pretty sure I do. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I do. I have it up there that you get paid up front. Now you can go in there and change it to whatever you want, but I want y'all to go in offering, like trying to do your best to get paid as soon as possible. If we can get paid up front, let's get paid up front. If you can't do up front, can you do that 10? All right, well, damn, can you do that 15? Okay, well, can we do that 30? You know what I mean? But we want to get it as soon as possible. The sooner we can get our money, the better the chances of our cash flow being good. And the better your cash flow is, the better your chances of staying in business and growing your business. So there's that. And then I'll tap in real quick on that residential. I didn't do much residential, but I did do some. But as y'all know, I started in commercial first and then with residential because of the people seeing how we clean the buildings, asked if we can clean houses. And I actually did net terms in residential. Horrible mistake, but I didn't know because that's what we did over there. I thought just how you do it over there, that's how you do it over here. And so I would get in disputes about, oh, well, we didn't pay you for this month. I'm like, no, remember, we billed y'all for the following month, da da da, and there'd be so much confusion. So definitely on the residential side, I try to stay away from that net altogether. And then commercial, if you can stay away from it, I would say stay away from it too. But obviously, every now and then you do got these bigger corporations and stuff where all they do is 60 and 90, and it is what it is, and it's beyond you. And then that's when you got to make a decision on if that contract is worth it for you. Because guess what? Just because they big don't mean they're gonna pay either. A lot of times they be the worst ones to get your money from, and you thinking like they should have it, but you really got to hound people down. So just something to think about. That's all I got. Tony, you tapping on this one before we move on.
Yeah, just following up, man. Piggybacking, like we ain't doing nothing on residential. Like we got to get that paid. Like as soon as we there. A lot of my clients, especially luxury, they would just leave the money there. Like they either put an envelope there or they would leave a check there. Like some people pay you before you even show up. So like I couldn't imagine having people pay me later cleaning their house because they could be moving and now you stuck. So
Okay, I'm gonna jump to the next question. Oh, I got a couple shout outs. This one's for you, AJ. Carolina
What's up, Carolina?
Chartier.
Appreciate you always checking in with us.
Simon Fernandez, working on lead generation and sales pipeline right now.
That's what's up. You gotta have it.
Need that. Big LA checking in.
Yeah, shout out to Miguel Hernandez, CBN member. Appreciate you. Simon Fernandez. Appreciate
He
you
says
checking in.
Corpus Christi, Texas, checking in.
Yep. You never like to say this one. Right. Mahar checking in. My guy, CBN, longtime CBN member as well. Oh, she froze on us.
I glitched out. See?
There you go. You back. There you go.
Oh, that's hilarious.
My bad. All right, cool. Miguel again says, is sales the main thing you should focus on as a small company? You back now, okay? It is the main thing. I don't know if I want to say what a main thing is, man. There's so many things, man. It really is. If I had to pick just one, to me, I'm like, yes, get the money in. We learn the rest on the way. Close them deals. But at the very same time, that could backfire because if you get a bunch of contracts and then you out here not delivering what you're selling, you can damage your reputation and mess yourself up pretty bad, right? Next thing you know, you got 5 1-star reviews, and that's the only reviews on your Google. And I was like, who really want to trust you? So I don't think I really want to narrow it down to one thing. If I had to pick one, I might say that again. I'm like, get the money, but at the very same time, you guys definitely gotta let's know how to clean. Let's know how to price it, right? You can sell all you want to, but if you part of that closing that deal, if you price it wrong, but you close the deal, you know what I mean? Like, so it's multiple elements for sure. I don't know if I want to put it on one thing. What y'all got on that?
Yeah, I think as a small company, it's important, but it's definitely not the main. Well, not the. I won't say main. I don't like that. I would say only.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's as a small company, you're doing every freaking thing there is. So you need to be focused on the sales, but at the same time, you got to bring in people to work it. And if you're not bringing in people to work it, that means you're working it. Now you got to also promote your business. You have to do all kinds of things. So it's an important part of it, but it's not the only part of it.
Yeah, for me, I feel like a small company, especially if you're newer, if you're just small, like it might be a little different. But if you're newer and small, like I feel like education is the best thing. Y'all know the phrase, the more you learn, the more you earn. I'm definitely 100% a testimony of that. I remember I went to my first event. We were probably doing about maybe $3,000 a month in sales. Like, and I thought we was doing it. Like, like I'm like, here we go. I'm on my way, because I had only had a job. So it's like, when you see that you're generating, a certain amount of money on your own, it's like it's encouraging. So I went to a conference and I was able to sit with some people that, they was just regular people. Was doggone Dan and Evelyn. Like, and they told me how much they were doing, and like the whole time I'm thinking six figures, and they doing millions, and I'm like, bro, what? Like, like what you mean? Like, and then so I started learning more, and legitimately 2 weeks later, my revenue, jumped from like $3,000 to like, it was almost like 17 grand in 2 weeks. And it was just literally learning different things to say. Like, I had built this bid that was literally like double what I should have been charging, and I was about to send that to the customer. And just talking with people, and they was like, dude, you wilding with that. How did you even come up with that number? Like, and stuff like that. So just learning different things like really helped me grow. So like I'm just a advocate for education when it comes to that. Like, spend your time consuming things that are going to help you get to the next level, and spend your time around people that are going to help you get to the next level. Put yourself in situations that are going to prepare you for the next level. So like, don't just keep showing up and just doing what you've been doing, like, because it's a good chance you might get the slow creep. You might grow just a little bit at a time, but legitimately, and again, I'm a testimony of it. Like, you can have one conversation that can explode your business, because it's one thing that you may be doing wrong, or one word that you may not be saying, or one factor as far as numbers and margins that you may be like just missing. Not that you're ignoring it, you just don't know that you don't know it. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Where my horn? Somebody hit that horn.
I'm about to. I'm about to.
Listen, so first off, shout out to the Taverniers, Dan and Evelyn as well. Hopefully, I'm trying to get them at the conference. They got their kids soccer tournament going on. We all parents, we got stuff going on, but they might be there. But shout out to them. But the other thing, man, that's really the answer, and that's an answer that I'm always running from, because, well, of course you're gonna say that, AJ. You selling educational shit, so of course you want to say that. You just want us to buy something, but no, it's the truth though. You can, if you don't know what you're doing, it ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? And you don't know what you don't know until you get around those people who do know. Like Tone was just saying that he went to his first event. So if you know you need to do what he just said and get in an event, make sure you go to cbnconference.com and meet us at the Clean Biz Network Conference, October 8th and 9th in Jacksonville, Florida. So go to cbnconference.com. All of us gonna be there. Carolyn will be there. She was on earlier. Brandon will be there. He was on earlier. Tenacity, they'll be there, and they'll also be on this call next week too. What else we got? And then it was something else on that. Bam. Another thing you should do, speaking of education, 1010program.com is going to come with the educational resources for you. You get multiple courses with it. You get a community with it. You get one-on-one coaching from us right there, assigned to you. You know what I mean? So that is the number one thing. That's really the most important thing. If you want to pick just one thing, education. Appreciate that, Tone. All right, Angelica, I'm shutting up. What we got?
She froze.
I don't know what's happening. She moving, but
All
we can't.
right, I'll put the next one up here.
Sorry, y'all. I was moderating in the background. I was trying to get a
Thank
link.
you.
I was trying to get a link. All right, let me get to the next question.
A Burnett 2022. What she got?
You want to move to that one? I got the email marketing question.
Yep, let's get that one.
Oh, I skipped it. My bad. I'm sorry. I was trying to help you out.
Right, good. Appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm going to back up a little bit. I want to make sure to shout out the people that are tapping in. Immaculate Janitorial Services. She said, she, sorry. They said, yes, please. Miguel says, how do you guys feel about email marketing?
Yes.
Do it.
Anything marketing, yes. Try it,
Mhm.
see if it works for you, measure it. If it don't work, move to the next thing. If it do work, do more of that.
A. Burnett says, "Hey everyone." Oh, y'all, I'm gonna tear her name up.
Olympia Burnett, owner of Made to Slate Cleaning Services here in Stuttgart, Arkansas. Good gracious. All right, shout out to you though. Checking in down in Arkansas. Matter of fact, who's down there? Aquaman down there. Shout out to you. Come to the conference. You probably link up with him. And he's definitely a plug on getting these commercial contracts. So definitely meet us at that conference.
AJ, how you say her name?
Olympia. I'm pretty sure I got that. Olympia. I was laughing at Tone too. You remember what he said? He's like that
He
teacher.
don't
Can't
put
say
me
the can't say the black names.
Listen, I'm surprised too. I'm really surprised.
Hey, don't even try. Don't even try.
Are you gonna help me out?
Mhm.
You gonna help out?
Tamika Rivera checking in. Shout out to her, CBN member. Also
See?
got an automation recently. Shout out to her.
Hold on. Like, I'm sorry to highlight, but look at that. Like, look at the name.
Go ahead, bro. We was doing good all day, look. Oh man. Okay,
Where
what we
are we
got?
at?
Let's get these questions. I don't wanna...
Nope. See, I'm pushing the wrong button over here now, y'all.
Oh, man.
AJ picks me to moderate. I can't even say them people's name.
Hey, we skipped Tamika's question.
Yeah, I thought that was a question. Yeah.
Yeah,
thought we
I'll go
were-
back to it. I'll put it back up there.
Thank you. All right. Property
So-
manager asking for a price
Okay.
sheet before walking through. All right, bye.
Sorry, Tamika. Property
Ooh.
managers are asking us for price sheets before a walkthrough. No square footage.
So I'll jump in because I'm kind of upset but happy. One is that I know who Tamika is. She's in CBN, and she's actually one of my subs in one of my accounts in Charlotte. So with that being said, I'm glad you're watching. All right, so shout out to Tamika. The other thing is with property managers, they're going to do that. I mean, all of it. Hey, give us your price list because they're looking for the lowest cost most of the times, right? So they want a price list. I usually come in with, we normally don't come out, hand out price sheets. We do customized walkthroughs, but a lot of times they want a price list on apartments. So a lot of times you can do your homework before you go to these apartment complexes and see the floor plans of the apartments, and you can make customized kind of sheets, or you can give them a range, because a one bedroom in one place is not the same size as a one bedroom in another place. And at the same time, the conditions of them may be different. So you can give them a range. So there's a number of things that can work for you when it comes to that. But just definitely understand that they are looking for the lowest price most times. But you have to sell what you provide for the price that you are quoting them. Make it make sense, because a lot of times you don't necessarily have to always be the lowest. But if what you provide for them is more valuable than the person that's at a cheaper rate, they'll go with you. So hopefully that answers your question. But of course, guys, jump in.
Appreciate that. And I'm gonna jump in. This ain't really my area expertise, but one thing I will say on it is that y'all keep saying property managers, and when I think of property managers, two ways. I'm thinking apartments, and then I'm also thinking commercial properties with multiple different suites, right? But if you're talking apartments, typically you can go on the websites and find the square footage right on their website for each unit, and then the price it the way Sherman was just saying. So maybe you can go there, find what the square footage is, then multiply that by whatever you charge per square foot on the thing, or however you come up with your pricing. But you typically can get square footage from their website if you're talking about apartments. So I just wanted to say that part too.
Yeah,
Thank
just
you,
something quick on that real quick. I know we got to go soon, but like with the property managers, there's also the ones that do houses. So we used to do a lot of those. I worked with 3 different management companies, and this is the format that they use. Like they usually have a price sheet that has every line item for every single thing that you would do. So for a house up to 2,000 square feet, they want a single price for it. If you're going to change out the blinds, how much is it going to cost you to change the blinds? Like, how much is it going to? They want, like, the 3 that I worked with, they had a sheet that they gave me to use as a reference, but it was just a sheet with literally every line item of just about everything that you would be doing. That Oh snap, the heck is that? They had a sheet with pretty much everything that you would be doing in the house, like doing the turnover. So if you sometimes you got to take the trash out, like people done left and left all their stuff in there. They want a number for that, a number for the carpet, a number for if you got to patch a wall, a number for like they had a number for literally everything. So like if they want the price sheet before square footage, that's probably the format that they're going off of. So house range, 1,000 square foot to 2,000 square feet, 250, 2,000 square feet to 5,000 square feet, 350. Like that's the kind of stuff a lot of times that they like to see because they don't want to be, having a different price like every time. Hey, when I call this person to clean, I know I'm spending 250 on this kind of house. Like,
Thank you guys. We are at 1 o'clock. Do you want to keep or 2 o'clock? You want to keep going?
Yeah, let's fuck out real quick. Let's hit the main questions. Does anybody
Yeah.
got real quick? I think I see one from.
Oh, you already
Ricky.
started. Okay, I saw it.
Yep, and then I see another one from Pristine, and then what? Who was that? Just Zine or something like that. So maybe those 3. I'm starring them as we go. Just those 3. It look like.
Okay. All right, we're gonna move to a couple more questions and then we'll wrap it up for the day. Did I just go backwards? No.
Nope, you good. That's it.
The stars confused me. At
Okay.
Wency 305, shout out Miami-Dade.
Right.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm ready to pull the trigger for the automation program. Can this work for me if I'm working my full-time job Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and no phones allowed in the building?
Yes. As a matter of fact, it's
You
very
need
ideal for
automations
you.
then. Jesus.
Yeah. Exactly. Only thing I would ask, are you already in business? I do want to know that because I want to know how equipped you are. But regardless, absolutely. It's kind of designed for people like you because in the automation program, you ain't gonna be doing the goal is for you not to be doing the calling no way. We don't want you doing the calling, the cleaning, none of that type of stuff. You will still do your walkthroughs in the earlier days if you're just still small enough. But as far as the actual lead generation, you not like the phones are cool. So anything on that, Sherman?
No, that's pretty much it. Yeah, yeah. If you're working a 9 to 5, I mean 8 to 5, and no phones, sounds like I was when I was in the military because I couldn't have phones in my building. So whatever you're doing, wow. So yeah, you absolutely need some type of automation, and I think that would definitely help. And it is the 24th, and you have until the 31st, so I wouldn't wait.
Good point.
Okay,
All right,
Pristine
I'm gonna move.
Commercial Cleaning says I will. Oh, we skipped that one. All right. I thought there was a delay or something, so I was going to read. I'm sorry. I was trying to help.
I see what it is now. There is a delay, so hers is a little bit behind.
Okay.
I see what happened. So we'll roll with it. All right, bam. So I want to start doing more door-to-door sales. Do you guys have any tip with door-to-door? My main tip would be just make sure you talk to the person, the right person. And if you can't talk to them when you going door to door, just try to figure out who that person is so that way you can call them back later and just ask directly for them and get to them. But that's always the main goal, whether you're going door to door, whether you're going cold call over the phone, regardless, whatever you're trying to do, we're just trying to figure out who that person is. Because what we don't want to do is walking there with these flyers and these business cards, and you just hand it to the first person, and you smiling, and you think you did something because they smiling and nodding. As soon as you walk out the door, they throw it in the trash, and they're just trying to get you out their face. So definitely just go in there and figure out who is the person you need to talk to, and then try to get that meeting with them and go from there. What y'all got?
Yeah, same thing for me. Nothing different.
Hey, don't forget about the most important part when you went door to door. Don't just waste your time. Get information. Like, get information. Get it off the door. Get it off a card. Like, get it from word of mouth or whatever. But have something where you can follow up. Hey, stop by the other day. And one of the things too that I've been working with some of my clients on, and I've been doing as well, is before you walk through, call. Like, call that area. So if you got a walkthrough already on the books, don't just go driving around the town aimlessly. If you already got a walkthrough on the books, or you going to do a site visit, pick like 5 to 10 businesses around that area that you would like to do business with, and call them before you go that day, like the day before. Hey, I'll be in your area tomorrow, or hey, it's Monday, I'll be in your area on Wednesday. Would love to stop by and introduce myself. So like you can warm them up a little bit so they're not always cold, and like it works. Like I got a car dealership last month off of a drop-in. So it's just it works. I'm about to work on getting a warehouse that's 3 shifts. Could possibly have 3 to 4 people in there. Like that's 10 to 15 grand right there. And that was literally just from walking in after a walkthrough. So, it works. So you just gotta be strategic with it. Don't just drive around all day just popping into places, because now you're wasting your gas and you don't even know if most of these people are people you want to do business with. Like, put a little strategy to it, because I think this is the same one that's at 30K right now. Are they the same one? So you're already like seasoned enough where you don't have to like waste your time just driving around and circling and spending all the gas. Be more strategic about it.
There's good stuff. All right, I'm going to jump to the last question. AJ?
I'm a just vain, and I see some good ones coming in too. So
Okay.
we do what we got.
We can keep it moving.
I'm good. So we can roll as long as y'all want to roll.
But
what is automation? Gentlemen, help her out.
What? All right. So first of all, I'll go. I got you. All right. So first of all, y'all missed the call we did yesterday, which was what we did at 4:00. We talked about automation as a matter of fact, we've been talking about it for forever. And you have until July 31st, which is in 7 days, something like that. Anyway, July 31st, automation program goes. Now, what is the automation program? Automation program is a program that allows you to systemize your business so that you can start to work yourself out of working in your business and working on your business, growing your business and leveling it up by automating it, installing systems, procedures, processes, whatever you want to call it, so that you aren't the one doing all of the work, right? From automated callbacks, or not really callbacks, but missed call notifications, where you can have your own lead generation service. You can create a team that can do lead calls or cold calls for you. It's endless of what you can do with the automation program if you put in the work, you follow the steps, you follow the blueprint that AJ and myself has set for you to kind of help you take your business to that next level. So that's what the automation program is to me. It's a way of taking my business from here to here in a short amount of time, depending on how much deposits you put in, how much work you put into growing your business. So that's what the automation program is.
Hey, Sherman, I'm going to time out for a minute. Tony says he's got to go, so I want to give him a minute to close out. Tony,
Okay.
Go ahead. We can't hear you. Hold on.
All right. Yeah, no, I definitely Appreciate y'all, man. It definitely feels good to be back. I've been out for a couple weeks, but you know, it's always a joy. And I didn't get to share this with everyone, but I did update it. I finally got my CBSE, which is my designation for Certified Building Service Executive. So like when I talk to y'all about knowledge, man, it's not just about like saying it to sell a course, because we're all in some aspect still, in that pursuit of knowledge and getting better and being able to bring better and stronger and more accurate information, so that we can help you all. So, just like y'all are improving, I'm constantly improving. My fellow coaches are constantly improving. So if you want us to help be a part of your improvement process, man, tap in with us, 1010program.com. I love y'all. See y'all next week.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I'm gonna drop
CBSE.
Peace.
All right, let me see where I was at with the question. Okay, what is automation? AJ, did you want to tap in on anything?
Nope, I think Sherman handled that one. I say just get it before the 31st. You ain't got that long. Jumping in.
Shout out to Miss Karen. She said, yes, give them a range.
Hey, shout out Miss Carolyn. Miss Karen, welcome in. Hopefully we see you again at the conference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Life with Terry. My husband and I recently purchased a franchise with JanPro. Did we make the right decision? How do we scale up to eventually move on from them?
It's a loaded question. I'll answer it.
Right.
Okay. Because he's about to explode over there. Was it a good decision? If it was a good, let's put it this way. Does it benefit your family? Is it providing what it needs to provide for you? Is it working for you the way that you intended? If all those questions are a yes, then cool. Are there other options? Yes. This is what I'll say. And AJ put out a video about this. Franchises are not a scam. They are not bad. They are not, the Antichrist. You know what I mean? You can learn from them, but you have to get out of it what you put in. They're not going to teach you everything, right? They're going to make life easy. They're going to do all the marketing. They're going to do all the leads. All they're going to do is basically present you with a account and say, do it. They don't teach you how to do the accounts. They don't teach you anything, in my opinion. Now, what I'll say is this: learn what you can from that franchise. Get all of it, get out of it all that you can. In the meantime, learn how to create your own. Okay, because when you start to create your own, that's when you'll be able to scale, in my opinion. I think with a franchise, you're only going to be able to scale as long or as far as they allow you to, right? They're going to keep giving you accounts at their own, in their own time. So you don't have any control over that. If you want to level up, you want to scale up, you have to eventually go independent. And if you want to go independent, you are absolutely in the right place. There you go.
Big facts. Big facts.
Was that clean? I didn't put anybody down. It was good.
That was good. And you gave me time to cool down there, right? So, but no, I will say this. I don't know you personally. I don't know your personal details, right? Because there are situations where a franchise would be absolutely a great move, right? So I don't know if you made the right decision or not, to be honest with you. We don't know because we don't know your personal situation. But congratulations, you made a decision. You're doing something. You're moving forward. You're going to learn from this experience regardless. I will say this. Whatever you do, stay locked in over here. Stay locked in with these people because, like Sherman just said, they're not going to teach you everything. You know what I mean? And quite frankly, it ain't their responsibility. Hell, we did not going to teach you everything. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stuff that they all learned outside of CBN. You know what I mean? So be clear about that. But I would just say stay close because all of the information and the question that you probably missing that they won't give you, you probably going to get it over here. So stay close. Eventually, I would say definitely join CBN at some point. I wrote the book on this stuff. Matter of fact, look up my book on Amazon. I never plug it, but in this situation, it makes sense for you. Go to Amazon, look up Is It a Scam? The Truth About Commercial Cleaning Franchises by AJ Simmons. Go get that book, read it. It's a guide on how to win with a cleaning franchise if you're going to stay with them. And it also makes it very clear on, what to do, what not to do, all that good stuff. So hopefully that helps. I see we got one more good question, and then we can shout out these last few CBN members out there, and we'll close it up. Big Water.
Oh, sorry, dear. Big Water says, with the starter kit, do you all help with putting the auto quote on the website?
We do not. Unfortunately, that is a automation thing or a 1010 thing. That's the only two ways to get that, pretty much.
All right, it looks like the last question we have. Did you want me to go through the rest of these comments?
I think we good. I just want to say shout out to Big Banks checking in, CBN member. Shout out to Miss Charlotte checking in, the show Comfort Clean, CBN member as well. Thank everybody so much for joining us on this beautiful Friday. Hopefully everybody get out here and win with CBN. 1010program.com, y'all. If y'all need a one-on-one coach, somebody to hold you accountable and really help you one-on-one like that, then 1010 program is where you need to be. We want to coach you to grow by 10 grand per month in recurring commercial cleaning contracts, right? And then if also, hey, I need to have like an extended conversation with some of these people. I hear what they said, or I heard that experience that this person had. Meet us at the CBN conference. All right, it's October 8th and the 9th, right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Come on down, get your tickets ASAP, because y'all know these flights is not planned. So the quicker you can get your ticket and your room out the way, quicker you can go get that flight, while the prices ain't as bad as they could get if you got a fly, right? But anyway, we'll see y'all there. Hopefully we'll see y'all there. I'm AJ Simmons, founder of the Clean Biz Network. I am the Cleaning Business GOAT. I am out. Let everybody know who y'all is.
All right. I am Sherman Lewis Official, and I just put in the comments, the CBN Conference, cbnconference.com. Come to the CBN Conference where you can see everybody that's been on the stage, everybody in 1010 program, automations programs, everybody. So you want to make sure you go to the cbnconference.com, get your tickets while they're still in the early bird stage. Also, a lot of people spoke about university.com/automation. Go there to get your course prior to July 31st, because it's over July 31st. So you want to make sure, if you want to level up your business, go to cleanbusinessuniversity.com/automation. Now, 1010 program. 1010 program is the program you want to be in if you want to level up your business and take it to the next level. Get coaches, personalized coaches is going to hold you accountable. That's where you want to go, 1010program.com. With all that being said, I appreciate the opportunity of being here, being able to speak to everybody. You can reach me at ShermanLewisOfficial.com on my branded website, or you can just follow me on YouTube. It's right there below. It says at Sherman Lewis Official. You can see all my videos and anything that I have and any information that I put out there. You guys have a blessed and wonderful weekend. Miss Angelica, we appreciate you. You've been doing a great job, no matter how bad we made it for you, because we were hindering you from doing your job, but we appreciate you. Thank you. And hopefully we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, Sherman. I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody who tapped in today. Again, we meet on Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern. Please join us next week. Bring your questions, your comments. This is really a good time to get in the room with the coaches, get to know them, and get some of those questions answered. And please tap in with the CBN conference. I'd love to meet some of you guys there. I know that you never know what kind of connection that you're going to make with somebody. I just met with somebody yesterday that was in CBN. Shout out to Miss Teresa Hudson. She helped me with something. I met her through CBN, and you just never know who you're going to meet, what kind of conversation you're going to have that's going to help put you to that next level. Thank you guys again for checking in, and I will see you next week.
Headed to the top, ain't none of y'all stopping me. Used to say I never get a ring, Charles Barkley. Now I got a wife, got kids on property. Bubble-eyed beans that look like that be watching me. Okay, I lied about the beans, but that was hard though. I'm still in that black act, but she starred though. Cause that's all it takes. I'm flashing for. I'm on my grind, not no more fashion show.